So I'm finding out this morning that one of the moderators, the lady that was up there, is actually Kamala's sorority sister. So you have the sorority sister, and then you have her best friend that is one of the execs. So now we know why there was a 3-on-1 debate. So we know that it was a biased debate. No questions asked. So you're celebrating for nothing, because she never did get to her policy. She never answered any questions. They never fact checked her on anything. I want to bring something else to your attention, because a lot of people are distorted in knowing what a real leader is. See, Trump is a real leader. A real leader is not perfect by any means. For my Christians out there, you know David in the Bible wasn't perfect. You know Paul wasn't perfect. Noah wasn't perfect. Solomon wasn't perfect. Abraham wasn't perfect. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. King Cyrus. None of those leaders were perfect, but nonetheless, they were leaders. See, a leader shows up. They don't hide from the people. She's saying that she's a part of the people. Then where were you for 3.5 years? You didn't show up. You didn't show up for the families that was in Afghanistan. You didn't show up. All you did was hid behind the keyboard all weekend and talk about the real leader that showed up. You didn't show up to the border. Trump went to the border, even though he wasn't president. He showed up to the border. And for all you black people out there, she didn't even show up to the NABJ. Trump showed up to the NABJ. You know, so the only leader that's perfect was Jesus Christ. But even back then, in his day,
that's a great point.
They would have called him an imperfect leader, because he didn't concede to their itching of ears and what they wanted to do. He wasn't all about optics. All he was about his father's business, standing on the truth.
I ain't gonna lie.
I do think that was a great point she made, but I would like to point out that as someone who's in a fraternity, a Divine Nine fraternity, which is what her sorority falls under, her and the moderator being sorority sisters is kind of irrelevant. Because if they didn't cross at the same chapter. Like Colin Kaepernick is my frat brother.
Well, some people say that's the only reason why they're voting for Kamala.
Okay, and that's their reason. You know, that doesn't matter. But
so you don't think she'll try to help her own? You know.
Well, she's already been using that to campaign, and people have already been buying into that. So that's irrelevant. But to say that like that was. I mean, I think that her and the exec being close friends is more of a red flag than her and the moderator being sorority sisters, because they didn't cross at the same chapter.
Not a bad take.
They probably have never met before.
Yeah, it's not a bad take, definitely.
You don't think they
still 3 verse 1, but
they ever met before?
Probably not.
We don't know.
I wouldn't say all that. Cause
I don't think that has anything to do with like if her and the exec are close and the exec gives them orders on what they're gonna do. That's more of a red flag than
all
anything.
of it's a red flag.
That's the biggest red flag. She's best friends with
all of it's a red flag.
Colin Kaepernick is my frat brother, and I don't agree with what he got going on.
No, yeah, definitely. You know, people are gonna try to find.
You don't think some people will try to, you know?
I still respect Colin Kaepernick as what he did in the NFL, and he's a successful guy. But do I agree with his messaging and shit? Hell no.
Well, that's you. But, you know,
if Trump would have had somebody on his side during the debate, and then they found out they had somewhat of relations, the left would have spun that.
For sure.
Both sides are gonna spin it.
For sure.
That's definitely something.
I'm just pointing out the fact that lots of people could be frat brothers and sisters.
That's not a bad take. That's definitely not a bad take.
That don't mean we locked in. You do what I'm saying?
I think they're just saying that the debate was rigged.
It was 100% rigged. Sure. Everybody agree on that. For sure.
Sure, it's kind of hard, bro. When I seen the whole chapter of African Americans sitting down as, you know, fraternities and sororities saying we're only going to vote for Kamala. We're going to try everything in our power as sororities and fraternities to make sure this woman wins and go knock door to door for this woman because she's part of the Divine Nine.
That's their prerogative.
Well, I'm trying to think in another situation. Yeah, if it was an organization that Trump supported and they were a part of that panel, people definitely would have had a problem with that.
100%.
So I don't know. It's however you want to look at it, however you want to take it. Pretty much. I mean, it was rigged regardless. So that's all
they would definitely.
People shouldn't really spend too much time on that one though, for sure.
I wouldn't say it was rigged.
Not rigged, but it was biased. I don't know. It was biased.
Yeah. 100%
I didn't mean
biased.
rigged. It was biased.
For sure. I think she has given the questions beforehand.
He said the baby will be born and we will decide what to do with the baby. In other words, we'll execute the baby.
There is no state in this country where it is legal to kill a baby after it's born.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
I hear you bring up Springfield, Ohio, and ABC News did reach out to the city manager there. He told us there have been no credible reports of specific claims of pets being harmed. And you repeatedly falsely claimed that you won, many times saying you won in a landslide.
Crime here is up and through the roof. Despite their fraudulent statements that they made, crime in this country is through the roof.
President Trump, as you know, the FBI says overall violent crime is actually coming down in this country. But Vice
Excuse me,
President
the FBI they were defrauding statements. They didn't include the worst cities. They didn't include the cities with the worst crime.
Tim Walz and I are both gun owners. We're not taking anybody's guns away. So stop with the continuous lying about this stuff. We have to have a buyback program, and I support a mandatory buyback program. It's got to be smart. We got to do it the right way.
Do you believe in the mandatory buyback of quote-unquote assault weapons?
I do believe that we need to do buyback. Let's remember Charlottesville, where there was a mob of people carrying tiki torches, spewing anti-Semitic hate. And what did the president then at the time say? There were fine people on each side.
And you had some very bad people in that group. But you also had people that were very fine people on both sides.
Live and after the fact that we had our eye on. We know the moderators pushed back on former President Trump 5 times and on Vice President Kamala Harris 0 times. Yeah. We fact-checked her, but they didn't. Time magazine was also forced to take back a so-called fact check of its own. That media outlet claimed Trump's point that Kamala Harris supported transgender surgeries for illegal immigrants in prison was false. The vice president did, in fact, check yes in support on a survey she filled out during her 2019 presidential run.
A lot of debunking going on.
Well.
How we know is that true, though?
Well.
I'm gonna be real.
The truth comes forward.
How we know is that
last.
true?
Time magazine changes fact check on trans migrant prison surgeries. Harris 2019 survey marked yes.
Damn.
So how we know that's her survey paper, you know?
Because you can just look it up.
Honestly, we wouldn't know nothing. We really wouldn't know nothing besides.
How do you know this computer is real?
Yeah, so
we really wouldn't know nothing if you
how
say
you know her
that's
survey paper is marked yes? Like,
Because we could just
I don't
look
know.
it up. We
Right,
could just
I don't
Google
know.
it.
That's
What
what
they
they
survey
say.
paper.
All right, let's Google it then.
what
bud.
survey paper have you seen? You can look up somebody else's survey.
It's been a lot of content on here. I could say,
Yeah.
do I think that's true or
I
not?
don't know why you decided to say that today.
I don't know why you think he like disowned or something with that point.
No, I'm just saying.
I
Like,
mean, I feel
you
you.
saying they just all of a sudden
feel
picked
you.
up a paper of a survey from 2019.
Here it is on CNN.
A survey.
Here it is on CNN, the exact survey. Harris told the ACLU in 2019 she supports to cut ICE and funding providing, she supports to cut ICE and she supports funding providing gender transition surgery to detained migrants.
That didn't say nothing about her survey. It says a paper she had. You know what? A survey. They said was she marked yes. How the hell they just picked up a paper of her survey?
This is the same survey, the questionnaire survey that was sent to the media, and it's from the ACLU, and it remained live from 2019.
That's crazy. They're just gonna keep a survey of her shit.
And this is question 14. I'm scrolling down, guys. Question 9, yes. 10, yes. 11, yes. 12, yes. 13, yes. As president, will you use your executive authority to ensure that transgender and non-binary people who rely on the state for medical care, including those in prison and immigrant detention, will have access to comprehensive treatment associated with gender transition, including all necessary surgical care? If yes, how you do? Mark yes. Explanation. Boom.
Yep. So we put up the facts. The facts say the truth.
There you go, Tosh.
The Carter, your
And
fact check.
that's from the CNN website, guys.
2 sources.
Lindsay Davis, Robin Roberts is right. It's a sorority thing. I don't understand it at all. So you have to explain it to everybody.
Sure.
You're a sorority sister of Kamala Harris.
Right. Well, pearls are a symbol of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, which she pledged while she was at Howard University. And the strand of pearls is symbolic of the unity and the sisterhood. Okay. But on this day, there's actually a Facebook page of women who say wear pearls on January 20th, 2021. And hundreds of thousands of women are apparently wearing pearls in support of her.
But here's a fact. He did get pushback from them. They did try to fact check him in real time, but there were numerous questions that she would not answer. And she did tell several lies and got no fact checking. So I think if you're going to lay down a marker that we're going to push back on these candidates, you got to do it to none or you got to do it to both. They asked her directly in the very first question if she thought they had any responsibility for the economic conditions or that people were better off than they were for it. And she completely ignored it. They asked her on immigration, why did you wait until 6 months before the election to do anything? And she completely ignored it. And so fact-checking and Barb's aside, those are the two most important issues in the election. They asked her, she completely ignored them, and they spent all their time going after Trump and didn't follow up on any of that. I thought it was ridiculous.
My reaction is I'm really concerned about what ABC did. When the refs put their finger on the scale, you got to throw out the score of the game. What would have happened in that debate had they challenged Harris and said, that's not right, what you said there about Charlottesville.
Right.
We don't know how she would have reacted, and then Trump wouldn't have had to spend all his time on the defense end. I think they did a real disservice to the voters of America when they did that, and they put in jeopardy the institutions of debate.
Advisor.
Well, and look, for the candidate on your side
He's
of the
a
political
Democrat.
aisle, it might have helped her. If you want to get sharp, you have to rub up against something that will sharpen you. And it might have even helped her quiet down those in your party who still have so many questions about her policies.
That's pretty crazy.
It is, man. People pulling up receipts, people coming up with explanations.
Hey, dun, dun, dun.
Let's see what Trump got to say about it.
But when a prize fighter loses a fight, you've seen a lot of fights, right? The first words out of that fighter's mouth is, I want a rematch. I want a rematch. And that's what she said, I want a rematch. Polls clearly show that I won the debate against Comrade Kamala Harris.
He always comes up with nicknames.
And as you probably know, because when you say Harris, does anybody know who Harris is? Now, Kamala is a very different kind of a word. Nice name, very nice name. But you know her as Kamala. You don't know her as Harris. When you say Harris, everyone says, who the hell is that, right? But she immediately called for a second debate, which means that she was like a prize fighter that lost a fight. We had two debates, though. I had a debate with crooked Joe Biden, right? And I had another debate with her. She and crooked Joe have destroyed our country with millions of criminals and mentally deranged people pouring into the USA, totally unchecked, unvetted, and with inflation bankrupting our middle class. It has gotten bad. Everyone knows this, and all of the other problems caused by Kamala and Joe. It was discussed in great detail during the first debate with Joe and the second debate with Comrade Harris.
Just moments ago, former President Trump on Truth Social weighed in with huge news on the prospect of another presidential debate, saying, quote, there will be no third debate. This announcement coming as he and Vice President Kamala Harris are back on the campaign trail today after their contentious debate on Tuesday, which many conservatives and some Trump allies viewed as a win for Harris. Now, right now, Harris is speaking in battleground North Carolina, where she too weighed in on a third debate, and that possibility just moments ago.
And I believe we owe it to the voters to have another debate.
Regardless of who won Tuesday's debate and whether we get another one, this very close race is far from over. Anything can happen in the next 8 weeks before Election Day. And of course, early voting is kicking off, right? In fact, Democrats today are being realistic. They're giving themselves a reality check. In practically every conversation, public or private, Harris aides and Harris herself are tempering expectations and continuing to insist she is the underdog to avoid getting burned by overconfidence.
Well, Trump says there will be no third debate. She ducked out of the Fox News one. She didn't want to do that. And she ducked out of another one Trump offered. It was Fox and something else. Oh, she denied CBS and NBC. So why do you want to do another debate if you're going to duck the other two? He offered her 3 debates. She accepted one that was supposed to be like September 3rd or something. Didn't happen. We got the one on the 10th, and there was supposed to be one after that. And she only accepted the one on the 10th because it was at her people's place. So now, obviously, she wants them to give her another script so she can go spit some more BS. And obviously, she thought she did good. Everybody saw that it was the 3v1. I don't know. I think he makes a good point. She only wants another debate because if she really thought she ate, would she want another one?
Yeah, I think if it's going to be some bullshit like it was the last debate, I think he shouldn't do it.
Well, to be honest with you, we need to see her in the opposition side, bro.
I would like to see it. Do we think that will happen? Do we think that will happen? No.
I feel like people should see that.
She needs to take Fox News or nothing.
Because you see, she begged them to make it where the mics weren't off. so she could talk over him.
This is obvious. I think he's definitely making a good decision.
I think he's done enough. I think
I would like another one, but if she's not accepting,
I would like another one.
If she's not accepting the one that he wants, and he just accepted the one that she wanted, that's just like, how is that even fair? Like, how is she even allowed to do any of that? That should not be allowed.
I'm just still messed up. They finna allow somebody to be a president with no policies that's actually set.
She's not going to be president. She's running.
She didn't do a good job of explaining policy. She was trying to do that. I'm here for you. Opportunity.
We're gonna make change.
My backstory, change, turn the page. I don't give a damn about none of that.
I mean, this looks like a threat to democracy. If you ask me.
I'm gonna keep it 100.
For real, bro.
I'm gonna just keep it 100 as a voter.
I mean, we're past that because she didn't have to run to get her to be this nominee.
But as a voter, I don't give a damn about all that happy-go-lucky, I like you shit. What you gonna do for me?
I just feel like, bro, we should
I don't care about no opportunity.
Set debates that the president, the two opposite candidates.
I need to know what the opportunity looks like. She talking about opportunity economy, turn the page. He's only talking about him. I care about you. I don't give a damn about none of that.
But shouldn't
what
it
you
be
gonna do
something
for me?
set
What you
in
gonna do for me?
stone for the American people to watch? Like, shouldn't it be for if these are two of the candidates, we're having 3 debates first year, and that's just what it is.
I mean,
you can't back out of it or any of that.
I know what Trump gonna do. Trump done double down. You see what he said today? Everybody that works more than 40 hours, once you work over than 40 hours, all overtime pay is tax free. You get to take all that home. That's a W. That's blue collar workers. Everybody busting their ass more than 40 hours a week. That's a huge W. Everybody that's busting their ass in the economy is gonna vote.
That's a good one.
That's huge.
That's a good one.
Hey, what Kamala do? How long till Kamala steal it? Trump tell me what he gonna do for me. He gonna get rid of these illegals. That's gonna lower inflation. He gonna stop these wars, and we're gonna have some more peace. He gonna no tax on tips, no tax on over 40 hours a week. Well, Agenda 47. Hey,
I guess we don't need another debate then. I guess we don't need another.
He tell me what he gonna do.
I'm gonna keep it 100. I think we need another debate.
I think we do, but then if she's not gonna accept the one that he wants, then it's no reason to, bro, because they're just gonna do the same bullshit again.
I feel like that's coward, because if you talking about you trying to be the president and you gonna have uncomfortable situations, so why you want?
But who's the coward?
She is.
And she won't accept it. And what can he do about that? It's
that's a problem, though.
It is a problem. That's affecting democracy. I know.
I feel like people should look at it in that way.
But that's our problem, though. We need to be like, okay, if you don't do 3 debates or 2 debates, then you can't be president. If you're back,
well, it looks bad because it looks like he's.
Well, that's whoever the people vote for. It's whoever it should be. Whoever the people vote for. But the problem is they didn't vote her into this position. That's where. But I mean, we passed that.
Yeah, I mean, hey man, if you get voted in, you're the president. I mean, hey man, if they vote take Lori in your name on the ballot, and you're the president, you ain't got to do the debate. I'm assuming, but I think you should be able.
He should do another debate.
I think it should be required that you do a debate. But if it's not required, then I mean,
I'm keeping 100. Me as a,
I mean, we all think she should.
Audience, I feel no, not her. I'm talking about Trump. I feel like
you think he should go back in that water again?
Yes. If she comes back with that same old lines, that's pretty bad.
But he's pretty much gonna use the same lines too. That's what he's saying. Like, it's no reason for me. I didn't say everything I need to say. He feel like he said everything he needed to say.
Yeah.
He's saying it's just gonna be the same repeated shit. You know what I'm saying? Only way it would be different is if she goes to the opposite.
Yeah, I
and
feel
she's
like
not gonna do that. So
they probably gonna ask some different questions. It's a different panel.
On the liberal panel, they're gonna ask a different questions. So he should throw himself back in the water.
They ask different questions. They ask different questions than what they asked.
I think that he's going to lose. I think if he goes into that water again to the opposition side, that he will lose more voters than he would gain.
Yeah. Wow.
So it's no point of that. Let's just, if she accepts let's go this other way so I can gain more voters, then lose. So.
I don't even think it's that. Like, I just think it like you got a debate in your side. It was rigged for you in ways, and it really didn't flip a lot of odds in her favor. But I think a lot of people who are unconvinced are still unconvinced, and I think she knows that. So I think she wants a second opportunity to go and double down.
On her side.
Duh. Now she gonna come out and try to have some policies this time. She didn't have no policies. She just kept it with that same I'm here for you shit. Look, you're not my mama. I don't need you to be here for me. I need you to make my life better. I don't care.
For sure, we all feel like
that's what I'm saying. That like I don't need no.
But how you think you're gonna lose voters from the other debate? Because she gonna go up there and bring up the Park Five.
Because I feel like the people that are already voting for him are.
Yeah, and I think if she can get him up there scrambling to defend himself like that again, it makes him look ill-prepared. But the fact that people know that he was defending himself in that manner because she wasn't getting the same pushback, and they was just letting her speak freely, and he wasn't giving that same grace.
People are going to realize that.
People realize that. When you watch it back a second time, it's like, okay.
That's true.
I will give ABC credit. I will give ABC credit in the fact that they let Trump speak freely. I did like that. They gave him a lot of time to speak. They gave him a lot of time to rebuttal. He stood on his 10. He stood on his ground in hostile territory. I think a lot of people like that.
If Kamala doesn't do a Fox News debate or someone,
I say Fox News.
Yeah, that would probably be the only one. If she doesn't
Fox
do that,
News or Cartier
then
family.
this is a W for Trump. I think this is a W, man, because she has to do it, man. I mean, she has to come to the other side, or it's just not fair at all.
But
I agree.
I feel
So
you on
we're
that.
not going to bend the knee, Taj. We're not going to bend the knee.
No, I'm just saying. I feel like it's better for him to hop on other programs since he's still trying to get voters that is not, used to seeing his face.
Yeah, but
we'll say this. Rather than doing another debate, which would be a waste of time, as we already know, which would be a complete waste of time, he should go around and do more podcasts and campaigns and grassroots things like he can do. So maybe he can come on Carly and go holler at us, and we can help you convince people. But I don't think, I really personally, just after watching that debate and the one he did against Joe Biden, I really don't see no.
Yeah, there's no point in doing that.
She's not going to agree to the other terms.
He just did 2 debates on their side. Like, is he supposed to just say, man, I'm going to do another one?
He did do 2.
Like, come on, man. Is he supposed to continue to bend the knee to them?
2 liberal platforms.
So it's over with. W for Trump, guys. That's what I think. Let us know what y'all think in the comments.